I heard Lyra's starting today.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Whoa,
right?
whoa, Kangas, what the hell, man? The show's about to start soon.
Yeah, I'm just doing my prep, man. Read something about, like, feeds of strength.
You mean first turret, first 3 kills, first objective, stuff like that?
Nah, dude, like, deadlifting, arm wrestling for side select, you know, cool stuff.
Is this all you've been doing? What about Otacon?
Out of who?
Oh, God.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got one more set. I forgot about that teleport channel.
What?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
For anybody watching at home, it's great for your posture check. Get your rear deltoids.
It's my pleasure to welcome you to the LTA and to welcome back the defending LCS champions, FlyQuest. Facing off against them, it is a moist new look for Shopify Rebellion. Masu still slowing him down, still gunning him down. Nicely done with Busio here with a massive engage on the 2. It's a double kill back over to Masu. Everybody on Shopify Rebellion is dead in the dirt, and Otacon's the reward for FlyQuest. Busio in for the Magnet Storm on to 3. They follow it up with a Petrify engage. Shopify tries to fall back, but they only fall down. Quad goes on a rampage, and Masu's legendary. 3 dead bodies on Shopify, and it's about to be 4. Beautifully done by FlyQuest.
Gonna look for something. I'm an ult here. Watch me.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to ult soon. But
They're going on me. I'm dead.
look front.
Look front, look front.
Hey, looks good. Looks good.
I'll bait her ult, okay? Look.
Yeah, kill her. Okay, flash W.
Looks good. Azir will kill everyone. Just play with Azir, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
No mana, Victor. Just go Caitlyn first, okay? Caitlyn first.
Caitlyn.
Nice. They're all dead. Got a 3-man ult. Play slow, guys. Play slow.
Okay, my bad.
It doesn't look good. Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe you can buff the wave and end.
Maybe.
No, it's my bad. Movement. Oh! Masu!
Take a shot. We don't win.
Okay, it's fine.
I'm tipping, guys.
Yeah.
TP up here.
Slowly, Nocturne or
Slowly.
Hey, guys.
Okay, come here.
Nocturne, hey, look,
They went on me. Nocturne ult.
Hey, look.
Look. Let's go.
Go back.
Go back. No.
Nice, guys.
That's nice.
Good. Nice. Aurora. No flash. No flash. Nice. Not flash out.
Let's go.
Look at Dragon. Think about Dragon. Go. We kill them and we go Baron, maybe. Baron in 10 seconds. Go Baron, guys. Go Baron after.
Nice.
No flash.
Bottom.
You guys can end.
Auto.
Thanatos, kill him!
Nice, guys. Good game.
Yeah.
Sven's untouched, still in the fight. Thanatos is able to gnar into the wall. Lions has a flash to safety, but safe.
Nice.
Not.
Nice, Hannah.
Yeah.
Look by.
They're going hard.
Looking by. Vice stun, kill by. I'm gonna stun Ori, she can stun. I need the flash. Nice. We can end, okay?
Yeah, we can end.
No
flash.
Welcome back to the LTA waiting room. That was yesterday.
I pointed at the wrong camera.
Where were you pointing? You're pointing over there.
Brothers, like, there it is.
I see the giant robot camera right there.
You're like, Kangas is doing bench over there.
These glasses
How
are
many fingers am I
useless.
holding up, Brad?
5, 6.
Oh, man.
That was rough.
4 teams played yesterday.
Yes.
We're going to see the other 4 today. But also we need to look at the bracket because it's a bracket that we've never had for Split 1 in LTA history or in LCS history. So
you are right.
here
There's a
are the
lot of
notes.
first things in LTA history. I'll tell you right now.
So the right side of the bracket played their first round yesterday. The left side of the bracket's going to be playing today. The only thing that I want to point out here is that once you're in the second round there, the loser of, say, the FlyQuest C9 game is going to jump over to the lower bracket on the left side. And the same thing is going to happen over here in the top. So winning is fairly important. Losing doesn't completely eliminate you because it is a double elimination, best of 3, to see who our top 4 teams are to go play the South.
But you are really scared, I feel like, if
Yeah.
you lose the first round, right? It gets very, very tough, and especially if you were one of the teams that drew a really hard opponent, like obviously FlyQuest yesterday was looking pretty good.
Yeah. It's like, because imagine, a lot of these teams are they're boot camping. Some teams, I know Shopify Rebellion were talking about boot camping during Christmas, the dedication you have to do to have during the holidays. You come in, what happens if you lose 2 best of threes and you're just going back to another
Back
vacation?
on holidays.
You're like,
Time to make up for Christmas.
We need to have a new Christmas, guys. January, February, Christmas.
One other thing about the bracket there, you may have seen that the final round was a best of 1. It's just for seeding. This is actually the final round. It's when the top 4 teams from the North will go to the South and play the top 4 teams from the South. And this is going to be a single elimination 8-team bracket where we'll have that best of 5 Fearless final, which could be any of the 8 teams that are there. You never know.
That's true. It could be
any one of them.
I thought you were going to say something very different. Well, I was just saying
didn't know what I
could be all LCS teams.
We the North. We the North.
South.
That is where my head goes every time I see that bracket, when I see 4 North teams versus 4 South teams in round 1. Even though it is best of 3.
It's best of 3 single limb, though, so I think there's going to be pretty high variance. So I wouldn't be surprised. If it was going to be best of 5 double limb, I'd be feeling a lot more confident about top 4 all from the North. But best of 3 single limb.
That is pretty greedy, though.
Yeah.
I just hope that one of the teams from the North gets to go to the first stand.
I'm a greedy man.
Because if they I
already made the bet
yesterday, they go and lose.
True. I already shook hands with Emily yesterday.
Yeah, but I wasn't betting anything.
Doesn't matter, you were closest to me. So at the end of the day, you're going to have to pay off the bet. Good luck.
If we're eating spicy food, I win.
I'm not doing that bet anymore. I'm losing all of those bets. I'm going to have to do something I can accomplish, I think, and not cry.
Yeah. The defending champions from last year, FlyQuest, did look really good yesterday. And Azael, you were super impressed by Masu.
I mean, Masu, I thought, just looked insane. Even some of the fights that they were losing, even when they were getting dove top, the most impressive thing about them getting dove top was how many abilities Masu was avoiding. I think he just played it really, really well. He played it on that knife's edge where, he's not only just sitting in the back and getting cleanup kills, he's actually going aggressive. He's chasing people down. He's finding additional targets. He's never wasting his arrow in these fights. He was holding his arrow at times for so long to, get another kill when one was already guaranteed. And I just thought he was positioning beautifully. He was getting maximum damage out. And this is just him picking up right where he left off at Worlds, which was having an incredible performance. He had one of the best international showings from an NA rookie ever. I think he had one of, if not maybe the best rookie year from anyone from LCS or LTA ever. And it's just so exciting to see this guy and see where he can go.
Yeah, I love that you pointed out the aggression, because there were so many times that both he and Quad actually were flanking on fights where Shopify would look to collapse, and then, we actually have one of our carries completely accessing the back line. It was really, really fun to watch.
Especially if you just look at the trajectory of his career thus far. I mean, the fact that we saw him really take a step forward during MSI and then during the summer split and playoffs, he just continuously got better and better. So he's starting off this year incredibly strong. Want to see more of that. Speaking of just tracking rookies or younger players, for me, it's going to be Loki. My expectation, a lot of people's expectation was not going to be super high. People looked at him in LCK Challenger and said, well, I mean, he wasn't the best mid laner there. He was going up against Saint as well.
That's who he was playing.
That was the conversation. But especially in game 1, he knocked my expectations out, because in both of these fights, he was a big difference maker. He was a big reason why, in fact, in this fight, he was the one that assassinated Saint. He was able to access that back line. And the first fight I wanted to talk about a little bit was that he was able to roam a lot earlier, seeing the play faster and getting there. So I think that, yes, I have a lot of expectations on his growth throughout the year being on Cloud9, but the fact that that was his first series and he started out very well, I'm excited.
I felt like their boot camp really showed, right? They had a full month long, or maybe a little bit more than a month in Korea boot camping as a team for Cloud9, and they started out, I think, really, really good. I was expecting them to look pretty good individually. I wasn't necessarily expecting them to look as cohesive as they did.
Yeah, and I know Blabber had mentioned in the interview I did with him the other day that one of the things he really liked about Loki is how receptive he was to feedback, and the fact that they did have that time to boot camp together. I also thought Thanatos looked a lot more well coordinated with C9, which was really, really positive for them.
Yeah, and the thing with Thanatos leads into my point about Fearless, where I want to just expectation set people on Fearless, because I do like it. I do like that it makes the champion pool is a little bit more diverse. And in best of 3, you're not going to see Azir ran every single game. But in terms of especially in best of threes, especially if you 2-0, of players with small champion pools, like getting punished. Thanatos, he played Renekton, and then he played Gnar.
Yeah.
And he dominated.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like he couldn't have done that pre-Fearless as well. Yes, they could have targeted him a little more if they had the Renekton-Gnar matchup in game 1, then it would have pushed him a little bit further. But I think Fearless will really show its teeth if we go to a game 3, and especially in that best of 5 finals. But for now, I don't think it actually makes a huge difference in the strength of teams.
To me, it's showing something immediately, because I remember last split. Remember the first thing that everyone was pissed off for with Summer is like, it's an 80 carry mid meta.
Quirky Trist,
like maybe a Zeri mid.
Yeah.
Literally every game.
Yeah.
In fact, if you just decided you're gonna like handshake the matchup, you're seeing them every game in a best of 3 or a best of 5. And now we're getting to see some shakeup. So even though we're not seeing, you're right, like a real challenge in
It's like an expectation setting thing.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, Fearless is going to be crazy every game. It's like,
Exactly.
well, no.
So I'm happy with that.
And one thing I will say I am excited for is the potential still to really heavily target someone. I think if you just do standard drafts and you're not like heavily focusing one role, then yeah, you're not going to push them super outside of their comfort zone. But if you're talking about Thanatos, right?
Yeah.
You could throw 2 or 3 bans towards top lane, and then by game 3, you already have like the additional 4 top lane champions that have been played. Now all of a sudden 3 or 4 bans means there's instead, 7, 8 bans towards top lane, and then you really are getting pushed pretty far down. So I am interested to see if any of these teams will start to use that strategy if we start getting to game 3s.
Yeah, I'm also curious to see, because I feel like we've already seen it with FlyQuest, and I know Bwipo called out being like, you let us have one of our favorite comps in the Worlds, but we've also seen this in LPL where it has been going to best of 5, where you'll see teams just develop a composition around a pocket pick that one of their players might have, right? Or like a champion that they know, for example, Quad is amazing on the Cassiopeia. They know that they can play these compositions around it. I'd like to see more of that, and I think if we get to those game 3s, that's also where we're going to be seeing some of that.
It's so funny, just because like the entire offseason we're talking about like Ambessa or just new picks in general that are coming through and maybe like changing out the entire draft. Maybe we won't see a Skarner because Skarner's been permabanned, but then like subverting expectations immediately, Emily.
Yeah, another thing that I guess subverts your expectation of a team fight is Voracious Otacon. We only saw Voracious yesterday. And I was wondering, like, okay, are teams going to actually use the buff well? I thought FlyQuest actually did use it really well if you can get the Otacon, get that essentially a GA, either spread out on the map or force the other team to fight you at a neutral objective, it's always a positive play for you. Even if it's just a 5v5 fight where you're blowing sums, you're blowing ults, you hope to get at least a trade kill because it counts way worse for them than it does for you. We saw it with Bwipo in the side lanes where he's just like, yeah, you know what? Like, I can go super ham, or they're going to try to overload sides, dive me, but it doesn't matter because it's just a free TP back to base.
The thing that FlyQuest did that I liked the most was specifically the players with teleport were the most reckless.
Yes.
Because it allowed them to keep 5 people on the map for the extended period of time rather than having to run back. But we have some more Otacon tips, Azael.
Yeah.
We do.
Aren't you going to tell us about Otacon?
Well, we're going to do a segment, so.
All right, we're starting with Counter. We got the perfect segment for you.
And now, it's time for sage advice from a literal world champion.
So I've been seeing people get annihilated by Otacon, especially in solo queue on live. But I think what people aren't realizing is that the abilities are very repeated. They're very easy to dodge if you understand what they're actually doing. So both forms of Otacon, whether it is Voracious or it is Ruinous, are going to have the same kind of little bullet. And basically when they're shooting that out, all you have to be doing is moving to the side. See, it always shoots straight in a line. This one does this little sucks. You always stay to the outside. That's literally all there is to this entire one. You're just moving to the side and then staying to the outside. Now, I can spawn Ruinous up on the top side, and we can go over there, we can check that out. And this is basically just the opposite. Again, you're gonna be moving to the side, but this time you're gonna be staying on the inside. One of the things that people don't realize is that the auto attacks only give you 1 stack of the debuff, which reduces your armor and your MR, whereas the abilities actually give 5 stacks every time. So if you're getting hit, not only are you taking more damage from the ability itself, but you're also taking a lot more damage in a potential team fight after. So this is literally all you have to do. You stay towards the inside. It doesn't actually go all the way in. You can see that won't actually hit you. And if it does hit you, it's like 250 plus per hit. You can see the orbs do about 300 damage as well. And then again, you're gonna have 50 stacks to reduce armor and MR. You've got to be dodging these abilities. They are where almost all of Otacon's damage is. So that is it. That's all you have to know. keep moving to the side. For Runis, you stay to the inside. For Voracious, you stay to the outside. That is it. It is very, very simple. I want to see people stop getting eliminated by this on the Rift, man. People are getting annihilated by it. I hear so many people talking about how much damage it does, how hard it is to take, and it's really that easy. You take almost no damage if you dodge these abilities.
What the hell was that? That was actually a helpful sage advice. Wait a minute. I was learning.
I felt like there's a little bit of rage towards some of your teammates.
Yeah, that actually you do.
I have literally seen teammates die like 100-0 to this thing, and then we get wiped like, well, we shouldn't have started. I'm like, maybe you should have dodged the abilities.
You need to clip that. And every time in solo queue, just paste it in chat after your teammates don't do it.
I have even seen pros getting smashed by this thing. Like people, you know, it's not that they can't dodge it. Maybe they just aren't paying attention to it.
I turn my brain off.
To be fair, there's a lot of other things going on.
Yeah.
But the fact that it stacks it up so much plus does the additional damage means that if you do get jumped on afterwards, you are going to get absolutely smoked.
Well, also the designers designed the shred in there so that teams would wipe on Otacon.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Raz about this yesterday, about how dangerous the buff has felt.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking that right now it's a very swingy mechanic, but it's going to be less swingy over time, either because people learn to dodge the abilities or they respect it for the damage that it actually does. Because it's one of those things like teams don't throw up Baron because it's happened so many times before, but Otacon is hurting them as much as Baron a lot of times.
And the rest of the team shouldn't be getting any stacks. It should literally only be the person that's tanking it getting one stack per auto. If everyone dodges it, it's only the jungler or your support or whoever's tanking those autos. So it's not actually that dangerous at all. I think as soon as people get more used to this, I see so many people, especially on Runis, where it does the little kind of like spins for damage. They stay on the outside, they start getting hit, and they're like, oh crap, and then they try to run to the inside, and they just run along with it and get hit for like 1,000 damage and a bunch of stacks.
Like, unironically, because I don't think people actually know the differences of the play patterns on each.
Yeah.
They will start on the outside because like I'm an 80 carry. Maybe it's like going to be the one that's
move
internal.
to the side, stay inside or outside. That's the whole thing.
And you're getting contested on Otacon, and you literally lose. You lose the buff. You're probably swinging the game. I'm like, oh my god, we just lost out of nowhere. So yeah, I like Otacon in general. I know that people have mixed opinions on it, just because when you hit 20 minutes for most games, a lot of the times you're like, okay, we're controlling Baron, but the game is not going to be decided around Baron because they're going to deny it for it. So it just turns into a bit of like you're playing on sides, and if you can't play on sides, then you're just a stagnating gameplay. This one is a buff you're contesting now. So it feels like you're always fighting for something in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to see. I'm going to track it. We're going to see which pros get hit by the Otacon rings today.
A lot of pros.
Yeah,
because
the first matchup is 100 Thieves versus DSG. And let's talk about 100 Thieves because they did have such a surge at the end of Summer Split last year, but then were very disappointed with their Worlds appearance.
Yeah, because the road for them getting there was like a miracle performance versus Cloud9. They looked so good at their identity in team fighting, but then when it mattered most, especially versus Rainbow 7, that's when it really started to boom
with that series.
Hey, Katie's in the league now, you know. But I think the big thing for me is you could see kind of shades of it, especially in their match at finals against FlyQuest, where they were getting really, really torn apart on the map. They still didn't seem super comfortable with lane swaps. Granted, they were going up against one of who became our best and most creative lane swap team. But I think now lane swaps are, it hurts my heart to say this, but they're a lot more boring now.
Whoa!
I know you guys,
Emily doesn't like them, it's over.
You guys already thought it was boring. Oh my god.
Handshake, Emily, handshake.
She's like, she's shaking her hand, there's a tear stream running down her face.
It's sad.
They're bad.
But I do think they're formulaic enough that 100 Thieves should have been able to kind of shore up some of those weaknesses. And I still think this mid-jungle duo of River and Quid is amazing, and FBI should add a lot more stability to their bot lane.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The point that you just made about FBI adding something to 100 Thieves is probably going to be the biggest focus for everybody, because we're expecting them to have the same identity, the same style, the same strength, being River and Quid, and Sniper being like a really outgoing player. But the fact that you're bringing on FBI, who's been an incredibly stable
He won a title last time he was on 100 Thieves.
Exactly. So like that should be a straight up boom for them. They should be stronger for it. And I want to see how it impacts their gameplay, because I remember when he's playing like FBI and huhi bot side, they're like playing Kalista. Like it changed their style for them to be more bot focused. So maybe that changes how 100 Thieves play the game.
We also have him going up against huhi today, and this is some old-timey footage of when they won the title together.
Oh, no!
Back in 2021, but they're actually going to be enemies, even though they've played some of the most games with each other of any other duo.
Yeah, the most games of a duo played together. I would not have guessed that. I would have thought it would be like Doublelift and Aframu or someone super old school, but these guys played together for a long time.
3 teams.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy to think about it. Especially when they made their names on Golden Guardians, then it was like, okay, now we're moving you to 100 Thieves. You win a championship on that. Bring them back for like NRG. So it's crazy to see that transition for them.
I'm pretty excited for 100 Thieves, though. I felt like last year they kind of got a little bit of unfair treatment, maybe from the other pros. Everyone's just, they're frauds. They're frauds. They keep winning. They're frauds. They're frauds. Surely they're going to lose now. They're definitely going to lose to Cloud9. They're really frauds. And then they lose at Worlds and they're like, I knew it. They were frauds.
Yeah.
Well, there was the brief moment in summer where they had a bad record, so everyone was really sure that they were actually frauds, and that was a confirmation. So
they went to Worlds.
Yeah.
And I've heard from a lot of teams that they've gotten a lot better. So I'm actually pretty excited for this team. I'm pretty high on them.
I know a lot of people were like, oh man, I don't know how Sniper's going to do in Fearless. I do think their drafting last year, the creativity and more so the way that the team seemed to know exactly what they wanted to play. I actually think there is a potential for 100 Thieves to be one of those teams who ends up drafting some really creative compositions that they have themselves have practiced.
Yeah, speaking of Sniper and Fearless, though, on pros, Surdy had a little bit to say about Sniper and how Fearless is going to affect him.
Sniper is objectively a weaker player in best of fives because if you look at his champion pool from last split, the vast majority of his games was spread across 3 champions, which were Cassante, Renekton, and Jax. And in deep Fearless, when your teammates might not trust you on champions other than your mains, it becomes way easier to beat a team like that loses faith in one of their players. Even if like they're fine mechanically on the other champions, if they're not practiced on them in comp, it can be like hard for them to win.
I mean, I think it's definitely true if you are limited. One thing I heard that was pretty interesting, though, when I was talking to Colt's Golden Glue, he said that during all their practice, he actually thought Sniper was playing better on tanks this year. So it'll be interesting to see if he even is defaulting to the same champions.
Yeah. We have a Sniper tweet as well, I believe, that production has told me about to try and pull up. He is going to...
oh, my God.
Okay, he said this before.
This guy... Well, he said he was going to retire.
This is like JoJo Kyonan streaming.
I do not believe you.
If this gets 10,000 likes.
This is a real watch. Wait a minute.
How long he's been working on that hair?
Oh, that's,
That would be it would be
You know what?
That's a
Sniper, if Disguise beats you, I'll shave my head too.
Okay.
Solidarity.
I like it.
Yeah, so 100 Thieves is debuting against Disguise, who is the Tier 2 guest team for the LTA North. And this is an exciting team for a lot of people. Mostly, I'd say it starts because Disguise Toast founded the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a guy who has been around for a long time. If you don't know him, he kind of had his origins back in Hearthstone, actually as a streamer where he literally streamed with like a piece of toast over his face. He went to some random tournament, won it, started to kind of get some popularity from that. Was one of my favorite streamers back in it. He's heavily involved in a lot of different scenes in variety streaming. I know him from the TFT stream. I just saw him at TFT Open in Macau, and he's heavily into esports now, which is really cool. He's talked about just kind of wanting to support some of the dreams of these players. They're involved in a number of different games. Obviously, they came into the NACL. They actually won a title in NACL as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's been really fun to kind of see their journey and see how they'll actually do here in the Tier 1 league.
And it was his first year in NACL, in which they were able to win it. And so what was interesting to me is the fact that he was able to, that he called his shot, like immediately, saying that he wanted to join the LCS, now LTA. And the fact that he was very open and honest about like just the organizations, of course. The jokes about like, we don't got a lot of money, guys. Take a look at our roster announcement. It's just like stick-figure drawings. Like, it's endearing. It really is. And that's why a lot of fans out there are DSG fans, not just because they're fans of this guy's toast or any of the fans of the friends that he has, but also just the fact that they love how open and honest and grassroots this team is.
And that's a throwback to the earlier years in esports for sure. The Patreon to fund the team, the incredible transparency around what the expenses of the team were. But now we also do have to talk about the roster because they brought in new players to play up here in Tier 1 with the LTA. I'd say Abbedagge is a player that we haven't seen for a while that I was very surprised to see. But then we also have a veteran like Huhi who was with Abbedagge and FBI actually in that 2021 100 Thieves team that won the title.
Exactly. So when we were talking about huhi going up against FBI, like Abbedagge is like, wait a minute, hold on a second. I was there, guys. I had my hand on that trophy. It's interesting to me the construct of this roster because they definitely wanted to have a little bit like the veteran players of huhi and Abbedagge who have been there before, won a championship, but also still wanted to bring in young talent like ScaryJerry. So I think that it's interesting to see him, eXyu, even Castle, and seeing how the team can grow and develop over time.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, when I spoke to their coach, one of the things that he was really emphasizing was just like how all these players, he felt, really feel that they have a lot to prove and are really, really hungry. They feel that they've been slighted in some way, they feel they've been overlooked or not getting the respect they deserve or whatever. And so, there was a lot of talk of that and just how hungry these players are and how hard they want to work to get that success.
Yeah, and I think that's where I actually point to eXyu because I think he's a really interesting case of someone who wants to come back into League, really wants to prove himself, and actually surprised me with how well he did perform on Dignitas. I was really rooting for him after watching him in NACL and seeing how well he was actually specifically able to play around that bot lane of Tomo and Isles when they were on the same team. I thought was really intelligent, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops on this Disguised roster.
Especially like just knowing the story about eXyu sending the DM to Disguise, like that entire thing, like now being on Disguise, like after actually having a pretty good showing.
Tell the story because people won't know
on Dig. The story just being like he wanted to join Disguise Toast, and so like he sent a DM towards Disguise.
Like a cold DM, seeing if he could join the team, basically.
Yeah, and it didn't work out. He ended up getting onto Dignitas, performed incredibly well as well. Like he had success. Now he's on the team, so it's like, oh, now you want me, huh? So it's fun to see him, especially since he had a good showing on Dignitas, and now he's back in the league.
Absolutely, played very well around his bot lane on Dignitas. Huhi's also been a player who often likes to have the game played around him. And there's a new face there with ScaryJerry. So ScaryJerry, he is making his LTA debut, Tier 1 debut. He's promoting from Maryville University. And Kangas, he's going to catch us up on his NACL journey.
Well, thank you, Jatt, because it's time to talk about one of the newest faces in the league, that being AD carry ScaryJerry, who had a very interesting path to get to Pro League of Legends. Not a lot of players actually take the path that he took. He went the collegiate route, first playing on Converse University, and then back-to-back finals at Seoul on Maryville. He did lose both of those finals, notably in 2024 against Surdy, the GOAT, who won collegiate and NACL in the same split. But getting to know him, he did win NACL in his last split, and talking about his play style, the team played through him quite a lot on this roster. What you can expect from him, lane dominance, if he's able to get a gold lead, ScaryJerry can run away with the match. But you've already heard that. What I actually want to talk about is something else, and that is creativity. From an AD carry, what we also look at the NACL level is when are they going in, what's their target selection, and how are they pacing their abilities. When you watch ScaryJerry's play, you'll see a different level of patience and a different level of ability to find the right plays. He'll wait for the right opportunity for his team to set up the play and then him to go in, and he'll also look for unique flanks where he's just, again, patiently waiting until it's time for him to pounce. Now, if the team decides to play through him on this roster, we're talking about huhi likes the team to play through him. As long as you're also getting ScaryJerry into a comfortable position, you can expect firepower. He was able to win the NACL, but did unfortunately have a rough end to his 2024 as they kind of bombed out at America's Challengers, which was the Tier 2 international tournament. But we don't need to talk too much about that. ScaryJerry's still hype player, and we're excited to see him now in the LTA.
Thank you very much for that, Kangas. What are the expectations going into the series? I think for me, I am going to favor 100 Thieves because of how they ended last year and because they have that pre-existing synergy. But if it would be an upset, I would be looking for eXyu to be making a lot of noise early, probably in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest concern for DSG is just I don't know who their consistent carry is supposed to be at the Tier 1 level, right? I have this team as 8th overall. I think 100 Thieves is heavily, heavily favored. I think they're going to be a strong team this year, and I'm interested to see what DSG can do.
Going to be very interesting. 100 Thieves and DSG are about to kick off the day. But first, we did send Raz to the tailgate to talk to a VIP.
What's up, guys? I've got Disguised Toast here, co-founder, owner of Team Disguised Toast. First of all, I got to ask you a question. How does it feel to have your baby? You called your shot. You wanted to be in the league. Now you're here. It's day one for you.
It's very surreal. Sometimes it doesn't still feel like it's happening. But seeing like our logo, our name up there with all these big esports org has been very humbling.
What's your hope and expectation coming into the league? It's a big day for you.
Expectation, hopes, I would say just end not last for the season. 7th is good enough for us.
And you've been vocal about just like some of the orgs in the league in general, and you wanted to shake things up. What's one thing you wanted to shake up and change? What's the new vibe with Disguised?
Just hoping to get people to care more about the content. I believe someone did a study on views with all the orgs so far, and I believe, you know, we're a week into the season. Our views alone on our channels trumps all the other orgs combined. Combined. And they've been doing this for what, 10 years? You gotta step up.
Hell yeah, step up, and you're gonna step up today. I appreciate the interview, man. Let's go. Are you guys ready for today's games? Yeah! Let's start the broadcast, guys.
The LTA is only 2 weeks away.
Mal podemos esperar para o início da LTA.
Pretty excited. I feel like Sniper seems very, very ADHD, especially after seeing him all day today. So like, I think it'll be easy for me and Castle to punish him in the top lane.
Okay. Well, that's not what happened last year, you know? Every single time we played against Immortals.
Oh, wait.
Oh wait, you were in the LCS. Oh, got him, got him, bro. That's a good comeback.
I mean, you just get carried by your jungler. Like, River's actually good, but you know, the rest of the team is just whatever.
Bro, I mog you guys in the game and outside of the game, you know what I mean? So like, I just gotta flex my jawline 3 times, count to 3, and then GG.
That's true, that's all you do. You don't do anything in game. You just, all you do is your cosmetics, you know? Like, you're just the brand. You're like the mascot for 100 Thieves, yeah.
Oh, is that why I made it to Worlds and you did it? None of you guys did? That's what I thought, bro.
Welcome back to the inaugural weekend of the LTA. You just heard some trash talk from a couple of today's pros. So let's go ahead and get things started with one of last year's Worlds competitors. It's 100 Thieves. in the top lane, Sniper in the jungle, River at mid lane, Quid at AD carry, FBI, and at support, Eyla.
Sniper. During the draw show, you were talking the most, especially to eXyu. First of all, recently unretired after Worlds, and you called your shot on Twitter saying you were going to go bald if you lost to DSG. What's up with that? Are we holding you to that?
Honestly, I just wanted to do it for likes. Like, my Twitter's been dead. My Twitter has actually been dead for like 2 months now, I think. So like, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Even if we lose, I'm not going bald. Like,
you're going bald, brother.
You know, like, wait. Okay.
You're bow him. You're going bald if you lose, brother.
Okay. I mean, I already kind of promised eXyu that I'm gonna go bald if I end up losing. So like, that's even more pressure on me. Like an 18-year-old, a lot of pressure on me, bro.
True. You're gonna hit it though. Go for it. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Go to your station.
All right, the pressure's on, but now for their opponents, one of Tier 2's hottest teams taking the stage, it's Disguised. In the top lane, Castle. In the jungle, eXyu. At mid lane, Abbedagge. At AD carry, it's ScaryJerry. And at support, huhi.
eXyu. You and Sniper were going back and forth during the draw show, and you got new colors. What are you looking to prove, brother?
I mean, he talked about me not being in LCS last summer, and obviously that's not really how it's supposed to be. I just got snubbed, so I'm excited to prove that I belong here and, you know, shut them up.
Hell yeah! Honestly, I think we can end with that, eXyu. Thank you. Appreciate you. Go back to your station. Good luck. And it's time to get to the game.
All right, the stage is set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Riot Games Arena in Los Angeles, California. My name is Captain Flowers. I am joined by Kobe. Sir, this is going to be a fun one. The trash has been talked. I want to see who can put up and make the other guy shut up.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, the trash talk is just like, oh, you're bad, you know, you messed this up or whatever. But Sniper was getting very real, you know, hitting home there on some sensitive chords with eXyu. Hitting on both not being in the league and then also the not going to Worlds thing. Nice and spicy here. So we'll see. Don't worry. I will personally enforce him going bald if they lose. I got you.
You'll personally enforce the consequences. Okay.
I'll go up there with a shaver. We'll get it done. Don't worry.
All right. Kobe is promising some justice here if 100 Thieves loses this series. But as one of our 3 teams who did go to Worlds just a few months ago, you know they want to start off with a win against a Disguised team that across a lot of the power rankings, people usually have them rated pretty low, so they've got a lot to prove.
I mean, coming into the league this year, Disguised are supposed to be the underdogs. Even their owner, Toast, in the interview at the beginning of the day, was like, you know what? 7th will be a dub for us. You know,
it's not 8th.
As long as we're not last. So they are certainly the underdogs, of course, coming into this. I have also been hearing, even with early scrim rumors around 100 Thieves, that they are even overperforming some people's expectations already this early into the year. So there certainly is a decent amount of hype here really building around 100 Thieves. And I mean, they got a lot of fans last year, especially with Sniper popping off, getting so many solo kills. So we will be happy to track those top lane picks as we get into the picks and bans. K'Sante being banned out. Sniper was a very good Ambessa in the draw show show match that we played, and Ambessa is definitely very high priority, right on up there with the likes of K'Sante. So we'll see about that. That top lane draft will be important, especially with all the trash talk going on.
And he's not much of a top laner anymore, but Skarner also massive draft priority these days. We saw yesterday we got to open up the LTA split with FlyQuest just saying, you know what, Shopify, you can have it, we don't care. And they had him figured out, but in general, unless you are completely disrespecting your opponents, you will ban it away. They ban out the Aurora. First pick of the draft is the Jayce for Disguised. Ambessa slammed in response from Sniper and 100 Thieves.
I'm telling you, if Sniper could carry me in a snow match on Ambessa, I have full confidence.
First-person experience.
Yep, I have first-person experience getting carried by his Ambessa. Castle, though, there's a reason that they slam this Jayce first. Yes, it is a flex pick, but it's also a castle specialty. So with all of the trash talk leading into this, I really do like that. Presumably, we have first picks for both teams with their top lane champions going with some of their best champions here. Yep. And presumably we will also get some jungle visitation up to the top side of the map.
Oh, you gotta believe it.
Yeah, so as we get into the junglers here though, with the Vi picked up, it's been very common to pair it obviously with stuff like Ahri, that you can go for kill combos with in the mid lane. That would be nice and comfortable for Abbedagge being back on stage here in North America. We'll see if they can finish up that combination. Thank you, Kangas, demonstrating what will happen if Sniper loses.
Oh, yeah. Sniper doesn't have the mustache, though. He doesn't have any backup plan here.
That's what you have to do after the shave, yeah.
Okay.
You have to grow hair somewhere else.
You grow it back out in a different spot.
Yep, there you go.
Fair enough. We do have the Poppy locked in for 100 Thieves here. Now, that is going to be able to cancel the Vault Breaker from the Vi. It'll cancel Jayce's To the Skies in melee form. Worth pointing out for those of y'all that don't know the differentiation, only stops dashes, not blinks. So Ezreal, unafraid of the steadfast presence of the Poppy, can still maneuver through that one. But generally, whenever this champion gets locked in, you always want to lock it in against something that it's already good against, and it does a lot to kind of trim down the pool of champions that your opponents want to play into it too that haven't yet been picked.
Yeah, especially if you are assuming that there is going to be some sort of other dashing champion that's going to be paired with a Vi also to look for those kill combos, because usually you need something with dashes and high damage that can follow up with those Vi ultimates. So with some nice defensive utility already drafted up here. Then, of course, we look towards the supports, towards the bottom lanes as well. Ezreal is a very flexible AD carry that can pair with so many different types of champions. Presumably, though, I would also think that they are going to go with some of the engaged supports, because they already are showing 2 poke champions with Jayce and Ezreal, and 1 hard engage with the Vi. So see about those supports as well locked in later for them. But
yes,
first,
sir.
we will get the jungle for River, one of the big stars on the Thieves.
Yeah, River on 100 Thieves, like when you think back to 100 Thieves at their peak, when this team was their scariest in the LCS, what immediately comes to mind for most people is the River Quid duo. The way that these two were able to take over the game and run things from the mid jungle. Viego, definitely a champion with a lot of snowball potential. It could be. The Elise is locked in. That should be the support for huhi with Azir, the mid laner for Abbedagge.
All right, we're in for a fun one here. Let's see. Elise support has been taking over solo queue. Of course, the likes of Keria as well, and so many supports love playing these high damage versions, but Elise support is like, you are either an inter or you are also another carry, like legendary, all other lanes for the enemies. So I am extremely excited to see huhi pilot the Elise support, because even when he was a mid laner, he was really well known for roaming around. So we'll see.
Aurelian Soul.
We'll see.
Well, so I immediately have to look up, it has been so long since I have casted Elise. I need to look up the name of her cocoon, because I only know the solo queue name for it.
Do you know Meteos is?
Yeah, I know the Meteos word, but we can't use that one. This is the official show. So we got to look up the official names for Elise's abilities. But we do have the final pick of the draft for 100 Thieves also. The Galio there in the mid lane. This is going to be some very powerful follow-up. Ambessa can jump into the back line with her ult with a well-placed aim on that. Throw Galio over the top. Lands right down together with her. You have massive disruption in the back lines. This duo, this solo lane combo between these two champions could be really scary, especially if they get ahead.
I wonder how many chatters we got timed out by mentioning the Meteos Elise.
Oh, I told him to type feet right before this game started. I must have taken out like 200 people. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
Well, let's get back into this one. Disguised Toast here on the LTA stage. Welcome to the LTA. Golden Glue, by the way, used to coach this team when they were in Challenger. And they were able to actually win Challenger in 2023 with Golden Glue at the helm. So it's cool seeing the coaches there shaking hands, and Golden Glue now being on the 100 Thieves side of it. He's got love for both organizations.
You love to see it. Well, you might not love to see it in the moment, but being able to see somebody like work so long in the scene through so many different orgs, like, I'm just excited for this head-to-head, man. I'm excited we get to see the Elise support. I'm excited we get to see the debut of ScaryJerry here in Tier 1 as well. tuned into Tier 2 here in North America whenever I can recently, and I know that all of the Tier 2 guys that have been in there, Kangas, who was in Tier 2, working that scene for a long time, with like Cubby and Rafa and all them, they always talked up ScaryJerry about how this guy's the real deal. This guy can make it happen. Well, here's your shot, Jerry. Let's see how scary you are.
Let's see it on the stage. We're getting invades for those deep wards for the lane swap scouting that is done already. 100 Thieves got theirs down. Meanwhile, you got the mirrored ones here for disguise, and then everybody resetting here out through mid lane. The ward does see River and Eyla, so the defensive one here for DSG, see how much value it's going to provide.
Yeah.
As the rest of the team does go past mid, and that one by the Wolf Camp kind of saw at least Castle.
Okay, they're all grouped up. They really want to. Oh,
Ayla's
dude,
target.
The trap on Eyla here could be huge. River going to walk right over that ward right now. Huhi lands the cocoon. Castle right on top of him. The rivers run dry, and 100 Thieves are going to lose their first scrap before it even starts. First blood on Castle's Jayce.
The defensive wards here, seeing the incoming scouting for the lane swap pays off huge for Disguised. It's the prep flowers, it's the prep coming in that can completely upset expectations. This team, the underdogs of the entire league basically, coming in with a very good level 1. And huhi on the roaming Elise support will start out with their lane swap on top side.
And I'm glad that you mentioned them being the underdogs alongside that play, because I feel like especially if you're coming in with everybody kind of expecting you to be weaker, the defensive play is very strong, because you know they're going to push you. You know they're going to try to do something sneaky early on.
100%. Always recommend more risky strategies and more, tricky prep coming into it. But here's some of the history of this Disguise team. Of course, they did win NACL in their first year after forming. So 2023 was quite good for them. 2024, got a little bit more middle of the pack. And then, jumping up here to the LTA. Big congrats to this team. And the crowd already loving them. So first blood acquired for them. Of course, they did change the feats of strength in this patch. We are on live patch, so you got to get full 3 kills. So not quite as big of a little swing as it has been for the beginning of this new season. But here we go. We're going to get the first recall for ScaryJerry back to base so Ezreal can get his tier. Always one of the really nice buys there. And it allows our roaming support here, the Elise, to start to get active. I mean, huhi was a big part of getting that first blood, being able to repel to close the extra distance and having the ability to start your E for double spells there, allows the cocoon follow-up and allowed them to get that first blood onto River. So we'll see if it continues to shine.
Ooh, Castle getting the better of Sniper down here, trading back and forth, running pretty low on mana though, so as the wave is crashed into the turret, we will see Castle be able to take his own recall here. Go ahead, go back to base. Teleport already used by him, so not exactly going to be able to immediately reappear back down there in the bottom lane, but he doesn't need to. The wave's going to be in a very favorable spot, has his own tier ready to start stacking that one for him as well. 1-0 still, just that early kill like you were talking about. Obviously the feats of strength change. Disguise would love it if it was the previous one, but overall I'm really happy with the change, changing it from the first blood to the first 3 kills. Yeah. Feels like a lot less can be lost on just one single bad decision from one single player.
Yeah. Well, a little bit less random, a little bit more room for comeback here, even if you do give up the first blood. Elise support, by the way, for people who haven't been terrorized by it yet, does build damage, like it's full damage. That's why we say it's such a risky pick, because you are very squishy later on. The majority of them do build into the Storm Surge and go for the big burst and really try and harass enemy solo laners roaming around. And so we see, again, huhi here. Now he's level 3, so that's basically full kit for Elise.
Oh, yeah. Build. You're good to go. Quid's in trouble. Flash cocoon from huhi. Quid flashing away to stay safe from it. But hey, that's the job. That's what you need to do. Get that summoner spell. Now the door is wide open for a repeat gank from huhi or eXyu or anybody wearing a DSG jersey.
Yeah, and he's got the most important buy, the boots, to be able to make those roams. And he's got the Ezreal, of course, this very safe AD carry for ScaryJerry to just try and farm up. And you were mentioning, some of the, like Hengis and them talking about ScaryJerry and really focusing on later on his team fights and stuff after he, gets fed. So if he's able to farm efficiently on the Ezreal, of course it's going to be a little bit difficult there with the extra pressure from FBI and Eyla, but we'll see about it as he is down a little bit on the top side of the map here. River comes in to try and even up a little bit of the mid pressure, but honestly, I think this is going to be reaching.
Yeah.
Abbedagge is doing a good job hovering to the other side of the map because they've got that control ward up there in the river already. Nice defensive vision for him. He has his flash as well. He is Azir, has his own dash. So there we go. River finally gets that control ward in the river brush, and they are just going to trade our first neutral objective packs.
Yep, 1-for-1 on those. Very easy for Abbedagge to play towards that bottom side of mid lane like you're talking about. His jungler's already on the Drake. Bottom lane, Jayce has total control over the 1v1. That half of the map just feels very comfortable for Disguise to play from. And you can see it again here with eXyu having the confidence to go in there, take the enemy Gromp. He knows River's up top side taking the grubs. He's not going to be around to contest this. Sniper is stuck in Turret City, USA. Just happened to hope that he can farm up minions underneath this one, dealing with Jayce in the laning phase. So eXyu's just happy to steal away some resources.
Yeah, Jayce, by the way, well, as eXyu is might be looking for a dive too. It is level 6 on the Vi, so even Ambessa can't dash when Vi ults.
There we go. Vault Breaker collides immediately right back into it with the Wombo combo. Jungle top from Disguised aren't messing around.
True to his word, eXyu comes to dive Sniper. Him and Castle take down Sniper for round 1 of the Blood feud that is taking place here on stage. And as you say, that's going to be 2 of the kills necessary for first 3 for Feats. Mid lane though. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we're not going to get a whole lot out of the Azir ulti there. eXyu with the sniper.
Wait, we got more action here too. Another one down.
Oh my goodness, huhi gets splattered all over the jungle. Disguised up 2-1.
They're a more perfect champion for squishing the spider than Poppy there. And they're able to just smash him into the side of the wall. They get their kill. They shut down a little bit of that roaming support. And he actually went Dark Seal too. huhi is going full solo queue Elise support. Went a Dark Seal to really try and snowball. But here's another look at our eXyu gank. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. It was really nice. Built up the wave. Level 6 timer for jungler for Vi. And then Ambessa is not going to be able to escape.
They're so stoked, dude. They're so stoked.
They should be.
Yeah.
This is an underdog team. They came in, good prep, level 1. They punished with their defensive ward. They have the extra vision. They get their kill there. They also get the morale boost from taking down the enemy trash talker. Ambessa does scale quite well, but you need money to scale, Flowers. And Castle has just been denying Sniper. That big wave that he was just killed under tower, lost a bit more CS there too. So it's not just the kill under Sniper, it's the denial of income for this champion that does have, very high potential for later in the game for carrying team fights and whatnot. But Jayce, especially with Jayce being a semi-tank bruiser build now, where people have done so many variations of very tanky Jayce builds.
Yeah,
it's not going to be easy to get Sniper back into this game. With the extra mana that they usually go with Fimbulwinter from upgrading with that, and then so many of these bruiser items for Castle and Grasp constantly stacking up, it does become oppressive.
And with the extra mobility that character has too, with To the Skies, the extra move speed that you can get from the acceleration gate, he can create so much space if he's ahead. Because what is Varus going to do? Yeah, Varus is ahead 400 gold. If plus 1,000 Jayce just walks up to him with a Fimbulwinter and starts hitting him with the hammer, you've got to fall back. You're not going to get that maximum DPS in the fights. I think the Castle's set up in a great spot to be able to have some serious impact in the mid-game fights once we get to those. Yep. We do have 50 seconds until our second set of grubs spawns. You already said it earlier, but it's good to reinforce it. 1-1 on neutrals so far, so neither side really close to claiming that feat just yet. Disguised can claim the feat of warfare with a single additional kill. We'll see if they can set up anything for that.
Always good, too, for your support Elise to go pair up with your jungler, especially when you're playing a Vi, because you can guarantee the picks here. So huhi and eXyu trying to sniff around, see if they could get anybody out of position away from their defenses, clearing out the vision around this river so that both top lane and mid lane will have more room to work with. But if we look at River, he is just camping on that brush right now. This Viego is surrounded by wards. He finally makes his move, but there's just so much vision for DSG. They can easily play around him. And in the past, River has been the star player for this 100 Thieves squad.
Yes.
He's very good at circumventing vision, usually, but when it's just blanketing the map like this, it's going to be a little difficult. Here we go, though, the approaching fight on Grubs. One has been taken already.
Okay.
eXyu still has his smite, though. River does not.
Okay, well, they've secured the first 2 of this set without the smite, so this is a really good omen for them to be able to get the entire set.
Yeah, should be able to guarantee it. The second charge for River comes back up now, though, so he's threatening.
Okay.
They're trying to push him off.
It looks like Disguised is going to decide that discretion is the better part of Valor and Grubs here. Just back away from that one. You have to get all 3 to get the credit towards the feet, so no credit for either side on this second set of the Grubs. We're going to stay at 1-1 on those.
I will remind people, though, because everybody gets so focused on feats now, Grubs getting to 4 is, to me, almost a bigger win.
You get your grubbies, yeah.
To me, it's almost a bigger win than getting like a 1/3 feat credit there for getting an entire pack, because spawning the Void Might when you're trying to take towers.
That's the real name.
Is actually a very big, it's actually a very big bonus. So they do at least get their 4 grub bonus for 100 Thieves. We'll see if that turns into any extra turret plate money or any extra side lane push later on into the game, because of course they are running the Galio comp here, and we have yet to see Quid make a heroic entrance onto any of those side lanes or into any of those skirmishes.
Speaking of meaningful leads, meaningful things in the game, look at the itemization difference between the Jayce and the Ambessa. It just got a little better thanks to the Brutalizer purchase, but full Spear of Shojin already completed for Castle. This guy is frightening right now. Nice sidestep there too, making sure he doesn't get caught by the Chains of Corruption. That hitbox can often be larger than it initially looks, so just sidestepping away from it, making sure that he does not allow himself to get punished there. And it looks like we've got ourselves a 2 Drake to nothing lead for the side of Disguised. Now also 1 more neutral objective away from being able to claim that feat as well. And with 1.5 minutes left on the clock, usually first turret will fall one way or the other pretty soon after the plates go.
Yeah, the Bruiser Jayce is just so good working off the base damages, and you get so much extra mana with your tier, and you have so much extra cooldown reduction there for your Spear of Shojin, and then being able to amplify everything feels so nice. So DSG with the double dragons advantage, like this game is starting out so incredibly well for this team that people did not have a lot of high hopes for. So we'll see if they can continue on into the mid game, the critical stages here, to be able to snowball. Full Gnasher's Tooth done, as you say, for the Azir. It does feel quite nice for Abbedagge, and this is a player that we previously saw on 100 Thieves in the LCS. But went over to EU, back to EU for quite a while there, and was most recently in Tier 2 in the LFL in Europe. So we'll see about his return here, if he can make a bigger impact as this game goes on. Of course, Azir looking for the team fights to really flex.
We've got a lot of first items coming in now. That Gnasher's Tooth that you already talked about. Junglers have their first items completed. Hollow Radiance for the Galio there in the mid lane with the Yumu's Ghostblade done for FBI. 100 Thieves got plenty of bodies down here as they're crashing another wave into the turret. 5 seconds left on the turret plating to keep that protected a little bit longer as Quid keeps Abbedagge out of his own red side jungle, but Quid gets shuffled back underneath the turret. Nice job from Abbedagge there, punishing the aggressive play of Quid, forcing that flash.
The flash, such a critical summoner spell here too for the playmaking for this 100 Thief side. Quid definitely going to regret that last little bit of damage. He wanted to go get his passive punch on him. He went to go punch Abbedagge and ended up losing out in the extra cooldowns. No actual kill given over, though, so that extra third kill still not there.
We got a teleport coming up top side. They're looking for the punish on Castle. Quid trying to close the gap with a taunt, does land it. Sniper making sure that he's careful to not enter too soon. He does not want to allow Castle to burst him down in a 1v2. Castle just getting the distance, turns right back around, slaps Sniper with a little bit of damage! And Castle just made him look silly in a 1v2. Yes, it's an equal trade, but that's making a statement.
It is making a statement. I mean, 100 Thieves, technically they get more gold because it's assisted kill and it's a shutdown, but the psychic damage of killing Sniper again.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
eXyu's yapping for him.
Exactly.
Some people got an accountant for their taxes. This guy's got an accountant for his yap. This is incredible. eXyu, although maybe he needs to get out of the chat and get back in the game. FBI shuts him down, shuts him up, and now River's looking for a little bit more. Goes in for the Spectral Maw, finds the stun on huhi. Say goodbye to the Spider, as now another fight in the jungle. Abbedagge trying to defend himself, but Quid jumping right back on with the Justice Punch into the Winds of War. Abbedagge at 50 HP. Galio in hot pursuit, but the Azir should get away.
It turns out Sniper's just the martyr for 100 Thieves. The entire rest of his team goes berserk after he gets killed, and they get their vengeance on DSG. The race for the first tower, too. Or actually, it's not even the first tower. That was already taken. But they do at least get solo tower gold onto FBI down there. In the end, traded, and Castle getting the same on top side. Here you go, Flowers. This is another look at it.
Right.
You said it, I think at about like this point, you were like, okay, Sniper's got to be a little bit careful about going back in. Doesn't want to get burnt down by this tank Jayce. And then as you said that, he goes back in for the extra damage, and Castle does not want to let him get away with that. Flashes to follow. The crowd is loving it. Hey, OTV there in the house supporting.
They got to support their boy, yeah.
Love to see it. OTV, very, very old school League of Legends players themselves. All of them, by the way.
Well, now, hold on. We got the fight breaking out. Ayla and River here on the front line. The Rift Herald's already going to be claimed by eXyu and Disguise. Sniper trying to create a little bit of space here, but he's got to be careful. The Galio jumps in on top. Exactly the synergy we were talking about, but the rest 100 Thieves cannot join. Sniper in some trouble. He'll get gunned down first. Castle is absolutely making a kingdom out of this top lane.
Dude, we're going to make this series into a movie, Flowers. The trash talk at the beginning, Sniper getting targeted because of it, goes down again. DSG, they find their mark, but it still remains very close. We'll see about the Dragon setup, because this is the real kicker here. The extra objective, Dragon Soul, would be huge. Cloud Dragon Soul, by the way, has the highest win rate of any of the Dragon Souls. Even though people disrespect move speed, Flowers, move speed wins you games.
So, I think that is a double-edged sword. I agree that move speed wins you games, but okay, hold on. We can get back to this in just a second.
Got to get it first.
The Spider Cocoon is trying to keep River away. It looks like eXyu's just going to have to leave. It is a TY for leash moment. Drake secured by 100 Thieves. Now they're looking for a little bit more here with a fight. Quid jumps in with a taunt. They lock up the Jayce. They beat down Castle. 100 Thieves feeling great about it. What I was about to say, the reason Cloud Soul has the highest win rate is because nobody ints for it. The other ones, you'll make a bad choice to try to get Infernal Soul or Hex Soul. Cloud Soul, you're like, well, I guess we'll take it if it's there. You'll never make a dumb decision just for it and throw.
So, speak carefully, because I definitely do make dumb decisions to just...
Well, you're a Volibear player. You need to go fast.
I need to
For you, I understand. For you, I understand.
The other types of players that sometimes make questionable decisions are, in my experience, support Elise players. So this one has not quite snowballed to the level that some of them have in solo queue. And of course, he did invest, going Dark Seal, trying to get the early move speed, trying to go full damage. Support Elise is notorious for later in the game sometimes being a liability, because you are so squishy, and really all you can rely on is your repel for defense. But you also always have the opportunity to make a really big play with your cocoon, with your CC. So it's all about the very small moments here for the Elise. Is it going to be a liability later on, or is he going to make the game-winning pick, Flowers? It's always the two sides of the coin.
Support Elise players do not play from planet Earth. It's either heaven or hell, one or the other. You can't go anywhere in between. 100 Thieves up only a couple hundred gold now, but considering they've been down by about 1,000 for most of this game, that's feeling pretty good. Now here's the test, Mr. Kobe, for this new org on Tier 1 for Disguised. Can they hold the line and not continue losing this lead? They try to turn it back around as 100 Thieves wants to make the play, but now they got to be careful because eXyu's in the middle of everybody. 100 Thieves in a 4v1 having fun. Quid getting a payday for that one.
I have to say, 100 Thieves here showing a lot of very strong resolve in this game, even in the face of a lot of those earlier objectives going the way of DSG and, of course, the level 1 and everything. But 100 Thieves fighting back very nicely. And I would put a lot of credit into River, especially on this Viego. Of course, he has a very good team comp to work around. You know, Galio being a supportive mid laner, all the CC setting up. You saw him after the Dragon that they were able to force DSG off and then chase over the wall. Able to get these resets. Now Quid, though.
Well, Quid's just going to bring them in for the rest of the team to try to mop them up. Slam into the wall from the Poppy. Heroic entrance for the heroic follow-up. And Abbedagge just gets a hero's burial on that one. Disguise have lost another man. 100 Thieves up over 2,000 gold.
And it's fairly dangerous, too. Otacon here does get tagged, but everybody's going to back off. Nobody wants to get the extra debuff here from it, and should be able to just take care of mid lane wave. So I guess just going to stop at that single kill. Back-to-back plays from 100 Thieves, though, attacking side lanes, Flowers, with 4 or more people. As we mentioned early on with the Galio, it's one of the big strengths here, trying to attack those side lanes. And 100 Thieves doing a good job kind of focusing there.
So one thing I'm looking at right now, we were praising the Jayce early on in the game, right? But when I'm looking at the scoreboard for Disguise, do you know what I see? I see a Jayce and a box of donuts. I got zeros in the kill column for every other champion. It means all the money is on Castle. If Castle's not around, 100 Thieves is going to rock their world. And the problem for Disguised, I'm not seeing the team play. I'm not seeing Castle be used as this tool. And now, Disguised are going after the Otacon. They're full sending, and 100 Thieves needs to try to get down and stop them. Quid has no teleport to make his way here in time. 100 Thieves still just looking on. The Otacon down to 4,000. eXyu incredibly low, having to try to flash away and make a little bit of distance as Abbedagge is going to be stunned up, has to try to escape himself. Sniper distracting the rest of Disguise. FBI with a nice confirmed kill on the enemy mid laner. They've got the Otacon down to 1,000. It is secured by River and 100 Thieves. eXyu falls as well, and it's absolute tragedy for Disguise.
Oh, ScaryJerry and huhi are going to be able to survive, and it looks like Castle running for his life still inside the Rift Herald, pops out at mid tower.
Castle's playing GTA and he's got 5 stars. River's bringing in the tanks and everything else, looking to go after him. He's only going to lose the false life. Sniper jumping right back in, looking to finish off this fed Jayce, add a little bit more money to his own pockets, and Sniper calculates it.
Yeah, Castle getting dangerously close to taking down 2 of the Otacon GAs there, but Sniper does finish him off, so it's just one of the GAs he's able to pop off of 100 Thieves. You have to look back at this play, though, Flowers, and think about why DSG went for that play. It is because they knew there was no teleport on the Galio, and Galio had just used ultimate. So their thinking was, you have to presume, hey, Galio's top side, he has no ultimate, has no teleport, let's try and burst this Otacon down quickly, but they were unable to do it quickly, and then they just got shredded by Otacon, and 100 Thieves did a good job attacking there. The all chat has just continued to deliver.
Oh, the all chat is one of those like daytime talk shows where everybody's just like borderline throwing chairs at each other. I'm loving it. River is loving the opportunity to jump in on this Drake, take this for free. It is 2 Drakes to 1 favoring Disguised. The new additional emblem you can see up there in the UI is indicating that 100 Thieves secured the Otacon for themselves. 4,000 gold lead, even neutral state in terms of the Dragons. It's getting more and more difficult, Kobe, for Disguise to find a way to win a fight.
It certainly is. Maybe they can just win a fight versus Sniper then. 3v2?
I don't know. Sniper's got buddies showing up. Eyla jumps in there immediately, looking to back up the Ambessa as Sniper gets the first kill back onto the Elise, and now they're looking for the second here onto Castle. River taking a possession. All they trade for 3 Disguised lives is a false life for the other side. 100 Thieves are not done yet. The push stays pushing.
Not done yet, as you say. River wants to continue. FBI here still has his GA. Ayla still has it. So not much ScaryJerry can do. He's one of the holders of the box of donuts, by the way.
He's got all donuts.
Yeah.
0, 0, 0.
What flavor are they, though? Because honestly, if they are
plain.
No. He's got 2 items, okay, at least.
It's Ezreal with a Trinity Force and a Muramana when his team's down 6,000 gold, man. Those are plain donuts.
Not even glazed.
No. No, there is no glazing going on here. Disguised 4-13. They are in a tough spot this game. It started really well, but again, I feel like this is what you see a lot of when you have a younger roster or a younger org come in. Even if they have those individual early advantages, it's difficult to hold on to them once you get into the more complex macro elements of the game, more of the team plays of the mid and later stages.
Yeah, a lot of these side plays here for 100 Thieves really worked out to their benefit. And River definitely very scary on this Viego, backed up by so much firepower on 100 Thieves. I mean, Quid has done a nice job here controlling the mid game for them, keeping them safe, and quietly, FBI, your sniper, your Australian sniper, once again on the poke Varus, one of his favorites.
Oh yeah.
Able to land a tremendous amount of poke damage, so they're just going to start up that Baron. Doesn't look like DSG are going to make the early move, though. They're starting to come over now.
Yeah, we've got Baron already down to half. Sniper tanking it up, River doing the damage.
Over Castle, but it's too late probably. Already 4,000 health and dropping.
Yeah, he's trying to get over here in time, but it's going to be smoke before it even matters. Baron secured for 100 Thieves. Health bar is still pretty high. Disguised will try to close in, see if there's any sort of a punish, maybe find a straggler, but no sir. 100 Thieves just pulled off the heist and got out without so much as a bounty.
Objective focus here. Reign supreme for 100 Thieves. Now they've got the giant gold lead on top of their Baron to work with. So the split push should be easy for them to start here. They've got the Galio ultimate ready for Quid plus his teleport, so tremendous side lane control, tremendous ability to move across the map and cover here. And when you combine that with the Baron buff flowers, that makes for easy push, easy siege for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, this is looking absolutely disastrous for Disguised. I mean, what do you do to stop Sniper from just flying in with the ulti, Quid from ulting over top of him, Eyla just tackles in there, and FBI free fires?
What DSG have to do is you'd have to try and rely on the newly buffed up tower damage, and you just have to defend at towers, and then 100 Thieves are going to be forced to make that play on your towers. I mean, and hope that you can get a nice outplay with the extra defenses there trying to go your way. They do have some critical flashes here on the side of DSG, so some playmaking ability. Abbedagge and ScaryJerry, both the carries here, do have that extra safety of flashes. Maybe they can get some outplays, but if 100 Thieves just play it safe and use the Baron buff siege power to their advantage,
yeah,
the FBI with the safety of the spell shield as well as the magnitude of his poke. Oh, he actually hits the ult here too.
Dude, Castle's already at half HP. That's your most fed player. That is all your kills on Disguised. And 100 Thieves smell the blood in the water. They'll take out the tier 2 turret mid with Quid at the same time. They're just shoving their way straight through the enemy base. ScaryJerry is already dead. There goes the bottom lane inhibitor. The mid lane inhibitor turret is about to fall as well. The mid lane inhibitor will go right with it. 100 Thieves easily breaking through the enemy defensive lines. Sniper goes for a recall. He will be able to return immediately with the unleashed teleport. Quid goes in for the taunt. He finds it onto Abbedagge. Eyla with a tackle backwards. River going in after the spider, but huhi gets away for a second. You can't say the same thing about the Azir. River tries to stay alive, but it ain't going to work. The shutdown credit back over to huhi from the grave almost, but he did barely get away as 100 Thieves with a 4v3. Continue the pressure, continue the push. They continue towards the Nexus. eXyu trying to distract them. FBI and Eyla putting the damage into the tier 4 turret here at the Nexus. A little bit more damage onto that second one. Got it down to about half HP. 100 Thieves, still no signs of stopping. Another unleashed teleport coming on back. No turrets left to defend him. eXyu and Castle both going to die here in the front lines. Disguised falls apart. And 100 Thieves, despite a rocky start, are going to take game 1 under 30 minutes.
FBI back on 100 Thieves goes legendary. 8 kills, 0 deaths for him on the poke Varus, one of his favorites. And against his old partner in huhi, they actually are the duo that played the most together of any duo of players in the LCS. The majority of their time on 100 Thieves, Golden Guardians as well there, but this time around, FBI is going to get the dub. And I believe all time that's going to put him to 7 versus like 5 for huhi. after the breakup that they had?
After the breakup. Even that's going to sound dramatic with the way that we've had the back and forth here between these teams. But yes, you called it out. Legendary and Deathless for FBI. Also a Deathless game for Quid, even though he didn't get as many kills as FBI did. I think that Disguise had a really solid early game. They countered what 100 Thieves were doing at level 1 very well. They did a good job getting Castle ahead, but the coordination, the ability to function as a 5-man unit wasn't there. And as soon as it slipped away from them, they never got a grip back on the game.
Yeah, I'm excited though with the prep that we saw for game number 1. I'm excited to see what they pull out for game number 2. Fearless draft, remember, for this best of series. And
yes,
see
sir.
If they can continue to push 100 Thieves.
All right, game 1's done. But a reminder for those of you here at the Riot Games Arena, go get your LTA North merch right now. Grab a new hat, shirt, or bundle both together and get a free Mini Poro plushie. Merch is currently available exclusively here at the Riot Games Arena. And speaking of that arena, let's head over to another part of it right now, the LTA Lounge. Break it all down.
$10 for a hat? That's like 1997 prices. That's insane. Either way, we got to get to the game. DSG, 100 Thieves. It did look like DSG had an upper hand in that game because of what happened early with Castle getting fed, but then the game turned. So we're going to break down. Yeah. Emily's going to show some of the reasons that 100 Thieves was able to come back.
If you look here, right, look at this bar. So basically, at one point in the game, I looked up and I was like, 100 Thieves are 2K ahead somehow, despite the fact that I thought DSG did a good job. So if we see all of these objectives going down, for me, it starts at this Drake fight here, right, where 100 Thieves are able to get in. Eyla is actually able to get that punish onto Castle. They get him. He is essentially the raid boss here. I'm going to skip ahead to just essentially them, again, setting up on the map, being able to get someone dead in a team fight. And then they took mid-tier 1, they take top-tier 1. Abbedagge is all the way up here, so now they're going to be able to collapse on him. This is actually almost a reprise of something that happened before the Drake fight, where they also overextended, eXyu overextended in the bot side. Right around here, I believe. And they were able to get that catch onto him. I think the big thing for me, if you look at where 100 Thieves were at in this game and what allowed them to get ahead, was these larger map plays where they'd recognize where they can take turrets and also where DSG were not only overextended, but they may not have warded their flanks.
Yeah, for me, it felt like 100 Thieves was kind of the ones that were running around catching DSG who wasn't coordinated, but the backbreaker was definitely the Otacon fight. And I did find, thanks to Azael's Otacon segment before the day, just a little bit of extra stuff with this Otacon. So I need to find exactly when the buff went down. But I want to just show the actual shred from Otacon. So where would it have been? We are needing to speed up just a second to getting to where the Otacon contest is happening. Because what people don't realize is your magic resist can get very near 0. So what I'm going to point out here is eXyu is the one tanking Otacon the majority of the time. So every time he gets auto-attacked, he's going to get another stack of this frail and unworthy buff, which is going to slowly lower his magic resist. So now with 23 stacks, he's down to 29 MR. But if we keep playing this clip out, and he's at 50 stacks, that gives him 56 armor and 2 magic resist. And specifically, when all 3 of them are in this circle here, all of them are getting shredded at the same time. So eXyu is at 50, Castle's at 17, and huhi's at 25. So you can see as he gets up to 31 stacks, 8 MR on the Elise, 2 MR on the Vi, and the tank Jayce is down significantly with his resist, not to mention the damage. So by the time 100 Thieves walks in, even though it is a 4v5, Galio hasn't joined the fight yet, the fight is basically already over. 100 Thieves kills them, takes Otacon, is able to snowball the rest of the fight, and that, I think, is the straw that broke the back of DSG. So we'll see if they can bounce back in Game 2, but right now we're headed to a break. So let's take a look at our LTA Connected Comms replay presented by AT&T and voted on by Jatt.
Coming.
I'm looking by. No flash by. Jayce is there first. Jayce is there first. No flash Jayce, guys. No flash Jayce.
Coming.
No flash Jayce. He's not flash.
Jayce.
I'm coming back. He's
really
I think. I'm gonna push bot. Nice, guys. Good job.
I'm gonna look for Tower here, no?
Play for mid turret. If I go jungle, we can look them as well.
Red Bull gives you wings.